Hey Tom, thanks for taking the time to create that video. I have to say, first of all, that I really, really hate seeing myself on camera, and I'm not really comfortable creating a video of myself. So if this is kind of stuttering and halting and kind of confused, then you'll know why. So I made a few notes when I was listening to your video, and here's what I got. Tell me if I missed anything. The first thing is that you want to go for the low hanging fruits. See what is the easiest to accomplish and start with that. I completely agree. I think that's a great approach. And I really think we should figure out what it is that is easiest for us to create and that people will find engaging enough to keep using and start with that. The next thing is the importance of personal interaction. And again, I completely agree that this is key. Creating connections between people is pretty much the main focus of the whole Sit With Me project. I really think that for beginners, having some kind of personal connection with someone who's already doing this will be very helpful. And the last thing that I think you mentioned is the possibility of building on existing tools like what C4 Chaos did with Open Practice using Twitter. And I think that's a good approach, but we'll have to figure out how and what we can use and how that could be helpful to us. So you bring up a couple of points. One about using video, which I'm doing right now, and I'm slowly getting more comfortable with. My problem with video in this case, except for my own personal issues, is it seems to be a very high bar for participation. Making a video of yourself and posting it online, like you said, is kind of a big thing. And if we want something that will scale and that will bring a lot of people in, then video can be an option, but making that the main way to interact with people, I think, will be very limiting. And then the other thing you bring up is, again, open practice. And I do like the simplicity of using a hashtag on Twitter and just building an opportunity for people to find each other, to congregate around an idea by using something so simple. But I think that there is still a lot that is lacking from there. And I think you can see that in the fact that there's very few conversations that are actually going on around open practice. Now, it could be because there's not enough people using it yet, and that might show up more, but I think it's just really, I really think it's just a part of the system. Twitter really is not the best system for ongoing interactions. So, what I think we need to find is something between those two modes of communication and try to create the the best of both worlds, or at least, some good. I still think that the sweet spot that we need to aim for is something around the level of a social network, something that gives you a way to track your contacts, to maintain a group of people that you're interacting with, to find new people to interact with, and then also to have ongoing conversations around different topics that are related to meditation. So I really think that a social network with some um, something like a forum or Facebook group kind of thing will be a really good place to start. And it's also relatively easy to expand on that and add more features. You know, because I want a lot of face to face and really personal, offline, real world interaction, then I think that location is a very important part of that, that we need to have location as part of the system from the get-go. That I think will get people to meet in person, to create groups that are local, that meet regularly, and I think that will be a great support for practice. Now, one thing that we could consider that is uh, probably easier to start with is to jump on an existing social network and use some of their tools. And so, one thing we can consider doing is creating a Facebook application that will save us creating the entire social network infrastructure that can be a pain to do again and again and again, and will let us focus on the features that we think are important, like interaction, like meeting people in real life, like enabling meditation groups to be formed and to keep going, and all the other stuff that I put up. So I think that a Facebook app would be an interesting option to consider, and maybe I'll take some time later to think about the pros and cons and of that approach later, and put that up on the wiki or somewhere. So I think that's all I have for now. Good talking to you, even though you're not here. And thanks for taking the time to do all this. See ya.